Whoa, 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 yeah, we are in the place to be, yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, what's up guys? It's David Quinn here with Stryve. Today what I want to talk about are habits. Habits are essential. Stop and look at all the successful people out there, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, and you'll see that most of them, they've all gotten so far because of their habits. There are tons of videos out there talking about their morning routines. But what exactly is a habit? Well, a habit is an activity that you do regularly without putting too much thought into it. You automatically do it by default. There's an old saying that states if you strike a tree 1,000 times in different spots, nothing's gonna happen. But if you strike 1,000 times in the same spot, you'll cut that tree down. The thing about habits is being constant. And being consistent is what makes habits so incredibly powerful. You focus on one particular thing for a set amount of time. Some people say it's 21 days to pick up a habit or 21 days to cut off a habit. So you work on a habit till it becomes second nature. Initially, the habit will seem tiring and cumbersome, but each time you repeat it, it will become easier and easier to keep up. For example, if you usually get up at noon, getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning is gonna seem like a nightmare. You will wake up, you'll feel sluggish, slow, you probably won't be productive until possibly noon. But if you usually get up at say 6 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 7 isn't gonna be that much of a task. You'll find it a lot easier. But anyway, let's get down to business. I've compiled a list of 5 habits that are going to help you make your life a whole lot better. Number 1, do things out of your comfort zone. This one sounds like a cliche, and it might be, but for very good reason. How do you grow? By doing the same over and over again? I personally don't think so. You grow by subjecting yourself to different stimulus. You already know things that you do regularly. It's the ones that you don't do regularly that are going to help you grow. We've all got a mental barrier. It's called the comfort zone, and its only goal is to keep you safe. When we were cavemen, leaving the comfort of your cave could result in potentially dying. Anything could have killed you, anything from an illness to a rival tribe or to a wild animal. Even though there may have been an incredible source of food and water right around the corner. But the risk of dying outweighed the potential benefit of that food source. That food source would be no use to you if you were dead. That made sense back then, but now we live in a civilized society where these risks are few and far between. So even though these risks aren't present anymore, the instinct of the comfort zone remains intact. It's out there protecting you from basically an enemy that doesn't really exist. And it's also preventing you from discovering that unimaginable source of food and water, which nowadays could be pretty much anything from money to a new job, a new company, could be anything. It's preventing you from talking to that girl you like, starting your own business, learning a new skill, or changing careers. All these have different risks associated to them, but none of them are life-threatening. So whenever you hear that little voice inside your head saying that you really shouldn't be doing this because it's scary or uncomfortable, that's when you know you kinda have to do it. Now take this with a pinch of salt. I don't want you going out there and committing crimes and all kind of crazy stuff like that. Tip number 2, work out. So by now, everyone is well aware of the benefits of working out. So I'm gonna take it a step further. When you work out, lift, but lift heavy. A few months ago, I went to the gym with my friend Danny. It was the first time we'd worked out together in years. So we get up on the bench press, he slaps like 25 pounds on each side and does like 17 reps. And I could see he had no interest in bumping up the weight. He didn't think he could increase the weight. I said, trust me here, let's give it a shot. So he doubled the weight and he could still move it no problem. Did like 9 reps or 10 reps, no problem. He was a lot stronger than he initially thought he was. Sometimes we just create these mental barriers. Going back to the comfort zone, we become comfortable with lifting up the same amount of weight over and over again, but we need to break them. We live in a very comfortable society where we just don't have to do as much. We're not as used to surpassing obstacles and challenges as we once were. But by challenging yourself, you're building up a strong mentality that won't crumble under pressure. And you'll find yourself more able to deal with tough situations than you otherwise would. But if those weren't enough benefits already, you're going to be stronger and you're going to look better. And you'll also produce more testosterone naturally. Testosterone, as you probably already know, is the hormone that makes a man a man. It helps build muscle, lose fat, and increase your sperm count, amongst many other effects. So, needless to say, it's essential to have healthy levels of testosterone. So, to sum up, make sure that before lifting heavy, you've got a proper form doing the exercises. You wouldn't want to get injured. Tip number 3, resting. This one's pretty simple. You already know about the 8 hours of sleep, but what does it prevent? Well, studies show that people that tend to sleep less than 7 hours a night tend to gain weight more easily. Their immune system drops and they are more prone to even suffering depression. There was a time back in 2016 where I would go clubbing like 4 or 5 times a week. This went on for several months. And I reached a point where I just got sick. I was consistently sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night. I felt incredibly weak. My strength at the gym dropped by about half. So get your beauty sleep. Tip number 4, be grateful and appreciative. Okay, so this one tip is huge. I personally discovered it when I was going through a bit of a rough patch, and it helped me get out of an emotional rut. We live in a pretty pessimistic society, where in a way we're forced to focus on the negative things. A typical conversation will 90% of the time be of people complaining about something. It's too hot, oh my god, it's too cold, I'm working too much, I can't find a job. But instead of this, try to focus on all the good things about you and your life. Man, this coffee tastes amazing. God, I'm so lucky to be healthy. I love my job, I love my girl, whatever it is. I know it sounds cheesy, but try it. And I guarantee you'll feel a lot happier in no time. Tip number 5, keep good people around you. This one's kind of complicated. I read some article somewhere that you are basically the average of the 5 people closest to you. When I read this, it brought me back, and I remembered my friend Juan. He was one of the nicest guys I'd ever known, until he started hanging out with a bad crowd. I saw him change almost immediately. He basically picked up all of the negativity and bad things that his friends were putting out. What I'm trying to say with this is you should try to make sure that the people around you are good people, that you love them and that they love you. But this isn't a one-way street. You've got to do the same for them and bring positive things to your friends' lives. So to sum up, tip number 5, make sure that all of the people that come into your life bring good things to the table. So there you have it, guys. Those are 5 tips, habits, call them as you please, that are going to help you become happier in life. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you did not enjoy it, you know what to do. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. That is it from today. I'm Dave Quinn with Stryve. See you next time.